move on to another AFC team, our former quarterback, Mr. Justin Fields. After having, I think, he had a Justin Fields 6 game. Let's just be completely real about it. Like we got the full Justin Fields experience with him having some wild plays, him having some bozo plays. But despite that, the Steelers are 4-2 right now, second in the AFC North behind the Baltimore Ravens. But Russell Wilson is available to play, and he took all the first team snaps this week. Mike Tomlin has been very, low key about what he's going to do. Even saying today that he's picked the starter, but they're keeping that in house. And then a couple minutes later, shout out to the Steelers beat reporters for asking George Pickens if he had spent any extra time with Russell Wilson. And George Pickens said, yeah, more than usual. You know what I'm saying? We did little things after practice because, it's his first start. And bam, there you have it right there. If you needed any more proof, Russell Wilson will be the starter this season. We're not going to see, this Sunday on Monday Night Football. I'm on Sunday Night Football. And by the way, great pickup, NBC. Sunday Night Football, you get Russell Wilson's debut, Devontae Adams' debut for the Jets, and two teams that need dubs right now. That is going to be an interesting game. This is what I said, man. I've said this about Justin. I'm going to keep saying it. He is who he is. He's not a bad quarterback by any stretch of the means. But he's just, I think, depending on the situation, he's a starter. I'm not completely mad at them going Russell Wilson. And Justin said this himself. Justin is a very honest dude. I covered Justin for a couple seasons, and Justin is somebody who he's a man of few words, but if he has something to say, he's going to say it. And he said he didn't play that well. He didn't play good enough for this not to be a conversation. And Justin, maybe he helps the run game with his legs, but passing wise, he's not great. And so you still want to see if Russell Wilson has something in that arm. Now, I'm not expecting Russell Wilson to come out and, light it up. I think he's definitely lost a couple steps. But if you look at Russell Wilson last year, Russell Wilson did not have a bad season last year. I don't blame Russell Wilson for the way that the Broncos season went. I think it'll take a couple games to get his feet under him, but I understand why Mike Tomlin is doing this. And worst case scenario, if Russ sucks, you can just go back to Justin. That's just how I look at it, man. And I think that for Justin Fields' career, I'm really interested to see where it's going to go from here because he is a free agent coming up. I mean, both of them are free agents coming up, but Justin isn't proven like Russell Wilson is. So is his future as a backup quarterback until he finds an offensive coordinator that can maybe, unlock him a little bit with Geno Smith? I don't know. But I think what you're seeing is what I was saying since January. Honestly, Mikey's been saying even before January. Mikey was saying this at the beginning of last season, that Justin just is who he is. And I think that people are finally seeing it with him not being on the Bears and now people want to question Mike Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? If there's any coach on planet Earth, in the NFL right now who deserves the benefit of the doubt, it is Mike Tomlin. And worst case scenario, like I said, if Russell Wilson's huff, you can go back to Justin Fields, man. So to me, I don't have a problem with this situation. And I actually think that once Russell gets his feet on him, I think you're going to see a better passing game. And I think you're going to see the younger wide receivers maybe even do better with Russell Wilson out there. Mikey, what you think about Justin getting benched?
I mean, I've been watching a few of their games, on Red Zone and on Sunday Ticket. Really trying to, see what that offense is looking like. I got a lot of boys that are Steelers fans, and just to be honest, it's business as usual with Justin. He's dynamic at times with his legs. He leaves a lot to be desired in the passing game. I mean, that Raiders game, he had a terrible stretch, like 3 terrible throws that weren't even like competitive throws, and just took them, out of field goal range and getting any points. The defense was able to, to force some takeaways and give him some short fields, and they were able to score. Najee looked good running the ball, but he just leaves too many plays out there to be desired, and it cost him. That Cowboys game was a winnable game. I mean, they did, have the lead, and the defense folded, but even then, there were opportunities in that game to tack on more points on the Cowboys, and they just couldn't do it. Justin is very honest, like you said. So I think he's not throwing a fit. I think he also knows that his season isn't over. He will be playing. I think it'll behoove them if they still throw him in goal line situations, say anything from the 7 on down, to utilize his legs, because he has been a weapon and has been automatic in scoring when they get down there, when they, use that RPO. So it just kind of is what it is at this point. I think this is, where Justin is going in his trajectory. I don't think there's, unless he gets with somebody that completely changes his throwing mechanics and makes it less robotic and less long, I don't see him having success as, a starting quarterback in this league, but he can definitely, collect checks as a backup.
Dante, you were one of the staunchest supporters of not having Justin leaving the team. Has your opinion changed anything from watching him play with Pittsburgh?
No, because I mean, unfortunately for Justin, it's one of those situations where, while it was a better situation in a sense, but Tomlin was going to give him a shot, it's kind of turned it into a similar situation where you have a talented wide receiver in Pickens, good running back, but the old line that was playing so well and he had started to get a rapport with, you two of them are out for the season, and things just really haven't looked the same since. I think it's a point where, like, to Mikey's point, because like I've watched, like, I'm still a Justin guy, so I've watched every Steelers game. That Raiders game, the stretch Mikey was talking about was the third quarter. He missed, I mean, it was in the second quarter. He missed Pickens twice, and then he missed another receiver where they could have. It was like two 20-yard chunk plays that he just flat out missed the guy. But in the same vein, Pickens dropped a touchdown. So like it's still one of those situations where, like we said in his last year with the Bears, it's not just perfect and Justin doesn't just blow people away. He's never going to get the benefit of the doubt. Like that ship has sailed. And so since you paid him and Russ the same amount of money, it's like, all right, well, let's see if we can get more out of the passing game with Russ. I don't think that's going to be the case at all because I think their O-line now, especially with James Daniels, who was having a great season, him being out for the year, and the other injuries on that O-line, I don't think Russ is going to have the time to throw the ball the way he wants to. So with that being said, I think Justin will get back in there, but it's unfortunate because unless he's just lighting it up, it's always going to be like this. It's always going to be can we be a little better? Can we, add a little more to this offense? And it's kind of a disservice because even in the first two games, they really didn't let him throw the ball. Like he was running, they were running the ball. Like they were running the ball. And then when you saw in game 3 and 4 that how they started to 3, 4, and 5, they started to throw the ball more, really incorporate more downfield shots. And they were a couple plays away from being 5-1. So to have that, and then it's still not enough. It's one of those things where they got to kind of have to see what you got with Russ because he was going to be the starter. So I think Rush will have a shorter leash than people think because he didn't play bad. 10 total touchdowns, 1 interception. He fumbled, I want to say 3 or 4 times, but he recovered all of them. So you're not losing us the game. But that's not how the NFL works these days. They want quarterbacks to go out there and win them the game or have a major chunk of the responsibility for them winning that game, even in a city like Pittsburgh, who has a great defense. So, I mean, I don't think he should have been benched, but I'm not shocked that they did it.
I mean, I think the Steelers are learning too. What's the old quote? If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. I think they're learning that right now. Bang, what you think about this situation?
First of all, the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers always come off the short bus. Like your head coach is like, yo, I ain't made no decision yet. And you go on TV and be like, yeah, getting ready for his first start. Man, the every wide receiver that the Pittsburgh Steelers have, something's wrong with them.
They come pre-drafted with CTE. It's already an attachment.
Yeah, what we say on summer sessions, they was in one classroom in my high school.
Yeah, there was
that's that.
They was in the class with Bunny Colvin and Susan Porter Wire.
Right. With that being said, man, I expected this for a couple of reasons. One, we got to see if we got to get a Bears a pick, a different pick. So we got to see what we got in Russell Wilson, and if he huffed it, we just go back to Justin. But Justin said it, man. I didn't play well enough to make this decision hard for Tomlin. If he would have played lights out, they probably would have signed his ass to an extension. Let alone Russell Wilson ass will probably be in Miami right now. if that was the case. He would be on another team. He would be with the Raiders, or he would be with Miami, a team that needs a quarterback, and they could use it right now. But Justin did not play enough to curb the decision. So the decision has been made, and I expect Russell to be decent. Scott, you said he was halfway decent last year. He was also with a coach who didn't want him in the fucking first place. So if we love Mike Tomlin and the way that Mike Tomlin coach and how he can coach up players, and even though he don't coach offense, it's just the aura that he gives people, I expect Russell to lead them to a playoff berth.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line.